So today I'm making Maultaschen. This is my Oma's recipe. She showed me how to make this before she passed away, and I have put the actual recipe on foodwondersoftheworld.com. I think there's a link below the video, so you can click onto that and you can see the actual measurements for all the ingredients. So what I've got here is just the dough. This is the full quantity, but I've just split it into 4. So it's primarily flour, eggs, water. And then yesterday I made the filling, which is beef, spinach, eggs and some spices. And this is quite cold because you don't want it hot, obviously, because it'll put holes in the pasta. So this is from the Baden-Württemberg region in Germany, which is southwest. This is where this comes from. There's many different variations of it, of course, but this is my Oma's variation, and this is the one that I love. So this dough is really stringy, and what I mean is that it tracks back very quickly. You can see it doing that automatically just from this. So you need a pretty good arm workout to do this, and because you have to roll this so much just to stretch it out. So I don't know if I'm going to show you that whole bit because it can take nearly 5 minutes just to do one. So it's a good workout, but it does take a bit of effort. It's better to have one of those rolling pins that doesn't have these, because I have broken a rolling pin trying to do this. So it may sound like a lot of work, but it's so worth it. You can have Maultaschen so many different ways. You can have it in soup, you can have it next to salad and vegetables, you can have it fried, you can cut it and put it into an omelette, which I've had a few times in a restaurant in Germany. You can put tomato sauce on it and cheese and put it in the oven. It's really, really good, and you can freeze it. So this is why we make so much. Like, this recipe is quite a lot. You can see how much filling there is, and there's so much, but it freezes so well. So it's So this is now probably about the right, well, size doesn't matter, it's really the thickness. So you want it quite thin, generally about as thin as what you would say a ravioli when you're making a ravioli, about the same. You can really kind of stretch it out. It is quite a strong, like most pastas, it's quite a strong dough. Then once you've got that out, I probably should have mentioned at the beginning, just before you start rolling, you want to put on a really large pot of salty water on the stove. So that's boiling behind me at the moment, because as soon as this is cut and ready, you have to put it straight away into the water, and so you want that boiling before it's ready. Okay, so that's done. So then we get the filling and we put it on half of the dough. So that's probably enough to start with. You can always add more. You don't want it to be too thick, because otherwise the pasta won't seal and they'll just open up. So you want it relatively thin, and not all the way to the edges, because that's where you're going to seal it. So that's roughly about right. Then you just get some water and run that around the edges, just with your fingers. It's just plain tap water. Like that. And then you fold that across and just stretch it a bit so that it reaches the edges. And then press that down so that it seals. And then, instead of having a fancy cutter, we found, or rather my Oma, the best way to cut it is with a small plate or a saucer. And just run that through some flour. So you want them about 1.5 inches thick, or about 4 or 5 centimeters. And you want to press it down quite firmly, not only so that it cuts, but also so it kind of seals. They will open a little bit, but that's okay. Okay, and then you do it. So the square shape. And I just flour the saucer or the plate, just the edges in between every time I've cut, just so it doesn't stick. And the last one, I can hear the water's boiling in behind me, so that's good timing. So that's just got salt and a little bit of olive oil. Okay, so then as soon as that's done, you just throw them in to the hot water, and when they rise to the surface, they're ready. Scoop them out and put them in a sieve. And that's it, you're done. So the water that they go into, you can actually use as a soup. So keep the water once you've finished, because it has lots of good flavour from the cooking pasta, especially because they do open a little bit, and some of the spices and Maultaschen comes out of it. So wait till it comes to the boil again. They cook quite quickly. It's better if you have a really big pot. So most of them have sealed, and then a couple open up, and that's fine. Almost always opened up as well, so I don't feel too bad. See, so then you've got a lovely stock behind that you can use. And they're ready to eat straight away. Or you can just freeze them. And that's it. One more.